Hi everyone, not quite sure what's going on with the look today. It looks way cuter in real life than it does on camera. I don't know whether I've missed out some sort of makeup item that I usually put on my face. You know, we all have those days where we get to the end of the day and think, oh, I've not put mascara on today. That's what's wrong. I just don't know whether it's the oversized shirt. It's a crop shirt. You obviously can't see that on camera, but yeah, I'm not quite sure whether I'm digging it on camera today. Can I actually say that at 44? I'm not quite sure. Anyway, it is what it is. If you can pinpoint what you think is wrong with this look today, please let me know in the comments section. It will be too late by the time, this video goes out, but I'd really appreciate it. I really would. Anyway, I saw that the Allure Best of Beauty Awards winners were released last week, and it got me thinking, what do I think are the best product releases of 2023 so far? Now, these products that feature in this video, although I think they are the best of 2023, they're not necessarily my favourite products. If you are a regular to my channel, you will know that my favourites of 2023 run halfway through December and all the way into the new year. So if you're interested in hearing what my favourite products of all time are, definitely stick around for those videos. There will be a lot of them, but we're going to get on with this one today. If you're new here, hi, my name's Gemma. I upload new content on YouTube every single week. I would love it if you would consider clicking on the like button, the subscribe button, and the notification bell so you don't miss any more future videos like these. So primer is obviously going to be subjective because it depends on the skin type, whether you're going to get on with a specific product. I love this one. I think it is such a good primer. It's the e.l.f. Liquid Poreless Putty Primer, and hands down I prefer this to the original Poreless Putty Primer that was definitely more of a putty consistency and more difficult to spread, although absolutely fantastic in its own right. I just prefer the consistency of this, and I prefer how it makes my skin look, how it blurs everything, how it smooths everything, and how my makeup sits on top of it. I just think it is a phenomenal product, and it is affordable. And I have tried quite a few primers this year, a lot of which have been very expensive, and this one tops them all. I've got a couple of foundations that I want to mention. The first one is super flattering on an over 40 skin. If you have mature skin and you're wanting to even out your skin tone, blur any texture, whilst also making your skin look super natural, like it doesn't have any foundation on there to begin with. Everyone's gonna say how beautiful you look, not how beautiful your makeup looks. This is the one that I would recommend you give a go, get a sample, see how it is on your skin, because obviously foundation is very subjective. I did a video not so long ago using the Laura Mercier Real Flawless Weightless Perfecting Foundation, it's a bit of a mouthful, with my mum, and I applied this to my mum's skin and it looked glorious. Absolutely stunning, incredibly flattering, and very elegant. So would definitely give that one a go. If you haven't seen that video already, I'll link it at the end of this video, but I'll also pop it up here if you want to watch that now. This is such a loose, lightweight foundation. It's not gonna last till the end of time. This isn't one that won't budge on your skin. This isn't one that is completely transfer resistant. I would say you're going to get a good 8 hours out of this foundation. If you're wanting 12, you may be disappointed. However, I do think my next top pick for 2023 covers all bases in that camp. This next foundation is just a stunner. This is the Terracotta Latan foundation from Guerlain. It is a natural matte foundation with incredible long wear capabilities. It is lovely. It blurs, it perfects, it smooths everything out, or at least it makes it look smoother. It's a very nice consistency. One pump doesn't give you very much product, and for a very good reason. You don't need a lot of this on your skin. If you're wanting medium coverage, this will do you. You also may be able to get away with just one pump. I can get full coverage. I choose not to because I think it's such a beautiful finish in its own right. I don't need full coverage, but you can definitely get full coverage out of it. You can be very precise with the pump, so you're not throwing product away, which is always a waste, especially when you're paying as much as this. Just gorgeous, gorgeous product. Definitely deserves a place in the best of 2023 so far. Let's move on to colour correctors, and for me there is only one winner. The best colour corrector that was released in 2023 has to be the Huda Beauty Faux Filter colour corrector. I just think this is a superb product. It gives full coverage. It's very similar in consistency and coverage to the Faux Filter concealer from Huda Beauty that was released last year, which is also an amazing product. Very easy to blend out, very, very easy for beginners. This doesn't crease on me at all, which is great. It's got a nice semi-thick consistency, so you can get it exactly where you want it, but it's not overly thick and gluey. It blends like a dream. Very easy to be precise with this, which is what you need with a colour corrector. You shouldn't be putting a colour corrector all the way underneath the eye. You just put it on the areas of darkness to cancel out that pigmentation. This stuff is gold as far as I'm concerned, and I wouldn't be without it. I have two shades, I'll show you them on the screen now, Pink Pomelo and also Peach. Again, these are superb. These don't cling to any dryness underneath my eyes. They're just really nice and silky smooth and give a lovely finish. You're obviously going to want to cover these over with a concealer, so the best concealer release of 2023 we're going to move on to right now. So before everybody jumps into the comment section and asks me my thoughts on the Haus Labs concealer, I haven't tried it yet. It's coming in the next couple of days. Probably by the time this video has gone live, I will already have it in my little mitts. So a review will be imminent. So definitely stay tuned for that if you're wanting my thoughts on that concealer. I think there's been lots of mediocre concealers released throughout 2023. So for me, there's only been one standout winner, and that's been from Gucci. Unfortunately, this is quite pricey. I'm really sorry about that, but for me, it is the best that 2023 have released so far. It's lovely. It's a natural matte finish on the skin, very easy to blend. I love the applicator because you cannot get too much of the product onto the skin with this applicator. It's quite small and it doesn't hold a lot of product. So where I would usually say always apply a concealer on the back of your hand and then go in with a finger, if you are one of those people that loves to apply your concealer directly underneath your eye or over any imperfections, you can seriously do that with this product without fearing that you're going to get too much product on the skin. I just think it is lovely. It is silky smooth to apply, and when I first apply it, it's more of a radiant finish, and then once it's dried down, it's more of a natural matte finish, which actually I prefer. I do like a radiant finish underneath the eye, but for me, I think a natural matte finish is more flattering for anybody that has fine lines or any texture underneath the eye. So this is definitely a stunner of a product. I have done a review on this where it was a get ready with me video. I'll link that up here for you as well. I would say this gives a medium coverage immediately with one pass of concealer. You can build this up to full coverage if you want to. I tend not to build up concealers unless it's just in this portion here, because I just think if you build up a concealer, you've got more chance of it creasing throughout the day. But if you're only applying a small amount of this, you shouldn't need to powder it. So if you are against powdering underneath the eye, if it brings out your fine lines and wrinkles and dryness, you shouldn't need to do that with this. Talking about powder, let's move on to the best powder that 2023 has released so far. I have not been shocked by many products in my time on YouTube. This took my breath away. that is how good it is. And my mum's tried this and also thinks it is unbelievable on her skin. This blurs all texture, open pores, just it is superb. I wish they had a translucent version of this. You have to get a shade match for your skin, and I do think that can be a little bit problematic, but I've managed to find one. Even though I do think it's a little bit light when it goes on, I can definitely make this work throughout the day. This is one of those products that you can take with you in your handbag, touch up your makeup throughout the day. If you're starting to get a little shiny, this comes out. Dab a little bit on. If you're starting to notice any texture on your skin, again, dust this over, texture be gone. I love it, and I don't know why I am the only one screaming and shouting about this product. I don't hear a lot of people mention it, and I just think it is unbelievably good. This is from NARS. As you can see, it is heavily used. I love this stuff. This is the Soft Matte Advanced Perfecting Powder. I have the shade Cliff. Again, it's a little bit light for my skin tone, however, it blends in very, very nicely. Whereas I only use my Pat McGrath Labs product underneath my eyes, I tend not to use it over the rest of my face. I could use this underneath my eyes and all over my face. I think it is great. Moving on to contour products. This product that I'm going to mention within this category, I actually gave a little bit of a bashing in a video that I did talking about all the new releases from this brand. I wasn't bashing the quality of the formula or the blendability or anything like that. I was bashing the amount of product that you got for the amount that you were paying, because it's a little bit shocking. However, having used it now on a daily basis since that video, I can hands down say the price is worth it for me. They are the best nose contour product I have ever used. Generally, on a day-to-day basis, Travertine is my go-to shade. I have had so many comments in the comment section about me having a nose job. I haven't had a nose job. It's just the fact that I've been using this to contour my nose, that my nose looks slightly straighter. I mean, only slightly. It can't do miracles, but I am getting better at contouring my nose, and people have noticed that my face is looking slightly different, and it's all down to this product. I love it so much because it is so precise. You do not need a brush with this product. It's not one that you have to get on the end of a brush and then put the brush to the skin. You can draw this directly on the face wherever you want to put it, and it does such a wonderful job. It's also incredibly easy to blend out. And I did say that there was very little product in this, but I've used it every single day since I did the video on the new releases from this brand, and I still have a lot left, a lot. Now, you can use this all over the face. I wouldn't suggest that you do use this all over the face because of the amount of product that you get in it, but there is another product that I think is incredibly good that I haven't mentioned on my channel yet. So this is the first time. These are the e.l.f. Halo Glow Beauty Ones for contour, and it's such a lovely product, this. The formula is really lightweight, very liquidy, and it's one of those formulas that you don't have to rush to blend this out. It doesn't dry down incredibly quickly, making it not very beginner friendly. The reason I've not mentioned these throughout 2023 so far, they are a relatively new release in the UK anyway, but I do think the shade range needs a little bit of work. So, these are the three shades that I have. We're going to go from left to right, darkest to lightest. So we've got medium tan on the left. In the middle, we've got a light medium, and then we've got fair light on the right. So fair light is definitely a cool tone product. However, light medium and medium tan, I would say have more of a golden undertone to them, and that's generally not something I would choose for a contour product anyway, but there is quite a steep jump between shades, which I think it's a shame because the formula is so beautiful and well thought out. I just wish they'd put a little bit more thought into the shades as well. Let's move on to best eyeshadow releases, and I really wish that I'd done this video in June, so there was only half of the year to look at, because there have been so many fantastic eyeshadow releases. It's been difficult to narrow it down. I think this is probably the best £65 I have spent this year. This palette is unreal. This is the Natasha Denona I Need a Nude palette. You can do so much with this palette. I have this on today. You can create a sultry smoky look. You can create a daytime very natural look. You can also create a glam sparkly look with this. You can just use the mattes in the palette. You can zhuzh it up with a little bit of the wet look sparkles, or just glitter central all over the lid. So versatile, this palette. I thought this was going to be too pink for me. It definitely is not. I thought it was going to be too similar to the Glam palette. Again, it definitely is not. I love both the Glam palette and this palette, and I'm glad that I have both. So if you're wondering if you should or shouldn't opt for this one, if you already have the Glam palette, definitely go into store and check it out, because I do not think you will be disappointed. These run more peach than pink, so if you were worried about the pinkness of this palette, I personally don't think you should be worried at all. But again, go into store, swatch them before you opt for spending your hard-earned money and possibly wasting that money if you really don't like it. Again, here are some swatches for you in natural lighting, so you can definitely see the undertones of all of the shadows. I would say this is more of a neutral palette. There are some that verge more cool, there are some shadows that verge more warm. There's a little bit of something for everybody, but I would say everyone will be able to get away with this palette because it's so wearable, which is why it definitely deserves a spot in the best eyeshadow release of 2023 so far. I think everybody would be completely and utterly shooketh if I did not mention this next brand of eyeshadows within this section of the video. Quite frankly, I do not know if these were released in 2023, so I may be breaking all of my rules here, but I tried them in 2023, so that is the excuse, and that is what I'm sticking to. I need to mention the MUA palettes because these are some of the best eyeshadows I have ever tried. Not just some of the best drugstore eyeshadows I've ever tried, some of the best eyeshadows I have ever tried. These are between £3 and £4 in Superdrug in the UK, and I think you can get these worldwide. You have to search for them, so do ask some of the members of the Pampered Wolf Pack in the comment section. Just let them know where you're from and I'm sure they'll let you know where you can buy them. My favourite one that I've bought from them is the Neutrals Wanderlust palette, full of beautiful neutral shades that pretty much suit everybody. I also bought the Wilderness palette, which is glorious, not my go-to, but still stunning in its own right. And because of that, I went out and bought a third palette, which again is stunning. This is more on the cool tones, and it is the Andromeda Skies palette. These foils and glitters are smooth and buttery and soft and really, really glittery. They give you that look of wow. The matte shades are also creamy soft. You don't get a lot of kickback in the pan, and they are also just as pigmented, in my opinion, as the Natasha Denona palettes. Let's move on to best bronzer release of 2023 so far. So there is only one winner for me. These are from Pat McGrath and they are the Divine Bronzer. I have the shade Naked Desire and also Nude Honey. These are so soft and extremely easy to blend out. Sometimes I'll use a powder bronzer and it grabs to the areas of my foundation that haven't properly dried down yet. And if you've got one of those foundations that stays slightly tacky on the skin for a prolonged amount of time to give you that glow, using a powder bronzer can sometimes be rather problematic because very, very difficult to blend a powder on top of something that's already wet. Not so with these, and they have shades for fair skins, which has always been a problem for me. Finding a bronzer that isn't too dark or isn't too orangey warm, these are sublime. They really, really are, and a major triumph in my view. I have really struggled with the best mascara new release of 2023. I am not going to lie to you all, there have been so many phenomenal mascaras that have been brought on the market, and I've had to bring myself down. I've tried them over and over again on different eyes on different days. And the two that I'm going to say are the best new releases, they're not my favorites. These aren't the ones that I reach for on a daily basis, but I do think they are superb. The quality is excellent, and they're both affordable, which sort of shocked me in a way. These are also not only affordable, but they're non-drying. So these don't dry my lashes out, which is a must for me. I don't want to be mistreating my lashes because of price of product. So if it's going to be affordable, it needs to be really luxurious as well on hydration for my lashes. It needs to look after my lashes. And I feel like both of these products do that and give a really fluttery, lengthened and volumized look to my lashes, which is also the look that I go for. Again, not my favorites. You'll have to stay tuned for my favorite in December, but these are amazing, amazing products. The first one I want to mention is from L'Oreal, and this is upside down, is the Telescopic Lift Mascara. I really, really like this. I love the applicator, which is bendy, a little bit on the wiry side. It's not a fluffy applicator. There are tiny little prongs on this that grab every single lash. If you want a lot more product in your lashes, if you're in a rush, use the back end of the brush, which holds more product, and then comb them through using one of the sides of the wand. Absolutely fantastic. Gives a lot of lift, gives a lot of length, gives a lot of flutteriness. Loads of people have had great success with this, which is why it needed to feature in this video. If you haven't tried this already, I highly recommend that you get your hands on it. It is affordable and it's a great, great mascara that doesn't dry out the lashes, or at least it doesn't for me. Another affordable mascara release is from Beauty Bay. This is the High Key Mascara. It has a similar wand. Now, it's not as flat as the L'Oreal wand. This has the same sort of wiry little very fine prongs on the sides which grab every single lash, really pushing those lashes up and coating every single lash individually, giving that fluttery, lifted effect. This doesn't tend to bleed or smudge on me, which I think is a great bonus, especially for those winter months when you're wearing a lot of moisturizer underneath the eyes, over the eyes. You don't want the mascara touching that product and then bleeding absolutely everywhere. Let me know your favorite mascaras in the comments section, because if I haven't tried some of those, I'll just make my decision harder for in December and try those as well. Just add a few more to the mix. Let's move on to lipsticks before we jump into the final category, which is blush, which, as you can imagine, has tormented my soul. We've got a couple of lipsticks I want to mention for the best lipstick releases of 2023 so far. The first one is an affordable one. I first reviewed these in January 2023, so they've only just made the cut, but they definitely deserve their place. These are the e.l.f. O Face Satin Lipsticks, and they are glorious. I do need to mention that although these are affordable, you don't get a lot of product for your money. I have this on today and it's just stunning. I have the shade Hustle on today, But I also have the shade No Doubt, which is also beautiful. And I had another slightly pinkier shade, which my mum has taken. So I did have 3 of these initially, and they're the only shades that really took my fancy. Otherwise, I'd have been out and bought multiple other shades as well. But with me having quite a fair skin tone, I do find lipstick shades a little bit problematic to source so that I don't look too vampy. The final lipstick I want to mention is the NARS Afterglow. I think it's a sheer sensual lipstick. I tried a couple of shades of this. I bought 2 shades so that I could review them for you. I now have 4. These are so lovely. All of these are suitable for my skin tone, my undertone. I just think they are so comfortable to wear. They are sheer, but they're not. So they feel really lightweight. They feel more like a balm on the lip, but they do have pigment. That's how much pigment there is from a couple of swipes of the product, and that is the shade Dolce Vita, which is one of my favorites. I think these are worth the price tag. They feel super, super comfortable on, and even though they are like a balm consistency, I'm not reapplying them continuously throughout the day. These do rub off, these do transfer, so you are going to have to reapply, but I don't find that I'm reapplying them all the time. The NARS lipsticks are so moisturizing and hydrating. If you have dry lips, they may be your new best friend, because not only are they hydrating and nourishing, they really do plump out the lip and make them look less dry even when your lips are dry. So very, very flattering, and with a little bit of lip liner, for me, these are everything I could ever want from a lipstick. Okay, moving on to the final section, which is blush. This has been difficult, but I'm not picking my favorite here. I'm just picking what I think are the best new releases of 2023. So we're going to jump straight into it. This is going to be no surprise for anybody. The Charlotte Tilbury Matte Beauty Blush ones, I think, are phenomenal. They are not matte. If you're wanting matte, you're going to be disappointed. For me, these are so much nicer than matte. So much nicer. These give a lovely sheen to the cheek, which is incredibly natural and very, very flattering. Great on a mature skin. Anybody over 40, go and grab yourself one of these. You will not be disappointed. It is so, so gorgeous. Very easy to blend out. You can put a dot on and wait 5 minutes and it's still wet. It's still movable and manageable and easy to blend. Not like some of the other products, I've got to say, from Charlotte Tilbury, which dry down incredibly quickly and can be quite cumbersome to blend out after a while. These gorgeous, absolutely stunning. So I have the shades Peach Pop and Pillow Talk. I also have the shade Pink Pop as well. Now they are all gorgeous. If you want something with slightly more of a luminous edge, these are my pick. These are from NARS and they are the Afterglow Liquid Blushes. Stunning, does not do these justice. I have this on my cheek today. So my favorite shade that I have is Dolce Vita, but as you can see, I've also been out and bought some more as well. So I have the shades Orgasm, Brazen, and also Wanderlust in here. These are a really loose consistency. I apply these to the back of my hand and then go in with a brush. Be very careful because these are super pigmented, even though they are part of the Afterglow line, which tends to be a little bit weaker in pigmentation, just like the lipsticks that I've just mentioned. These seriously blow your head off with the amount of pigmentation, so you don't want to overdo it like I did in a recent video. Please make it stop. Make it stop. Oh my. Am I crying? I feel like I'm crying. Very, very scary. It wasn't this particular product, but it was a different one. It wasn't a good look for me. Aunt Sally, eat your heart out. Anyway, these are definitely worth the investment as far as I'm concerned. If you have my undertone, I would definitely go for Dolce Vita first and see what you think of that one. And then possibly Orgasm's my next favourite, then Brazen, then Wanderlust of the shades that I have. But I love these. They are so easy to blend out and give a gorgeous sheen on the cheek that's not too glowy. If you've got matte everywhere else, it's not going to look very unusual, but it's just going to give you that girly glow. It's so, so nice. Definitely deserves its place. It is a phenomenal product release of 2023, and yeah, glorious. If you're looking for something slightly more glowy and more affordable, I don't think you can go wrong with this next product. This is from Max Factor, and it's the Miracle Pure Infused Cream Blush. This has hyaluronic acid in here, and I bought this one. I also bought another shade, and then on the back of that one, I also went out and bought another shade as well. So these are really beautiful. They give more of an edge of the Charlotte Tilbury Glowgasm Beauty Light ones. They're quite illuminating on the cheek, very radiant. So if you don't like a bit of sparkle on the cheek, you're probably not going to like these, but I think they are gorgeous. They go on really beautifully as well. They are quite a thick, gloopy consistency, which doesn't sound very nice when I explain it like that, but all you need to do is pop a tiny bit on the back of the hand and then massage that in a little bit into the back of the hand, then go in with a brush. Do not go straight into the cheek with this product because it will frighten you. It's going to be a little bit, help, please send help. Really, really pigmented product, but blends out superbly well. And it's got that hydrated glow from within look, which is, oh, I just think it's stunning. So that's it. They are my best makeup releases of 2023 so far. Obviously, I haven't tried every new release that's come out on the market in 2023. These are the best of what I have personally tried. I would love to hear your thoughts though. What, in your opinion, are the best makeup releases of 2023 so far? Try and stick to the new releases of 2023. I know I broke the rules possibly for one of the items, but if you can keep it to 2023 releases, I would really appreciate that. And if I haven't tried some of your favorites, I will go out and try them and see what I think. Stay tuned for my December favorites. There will be an individual video for each category. So we're going to have blush, we're going to have foundation, concealers, all sorts of stuff coming up in December, and they will be my favorites of all time. So not just from 2023, from way back when as well. I really hope you've enjoyed this video. Please consider giving it a like, clicking on the subscribe button and the notification bell, and I hope to see you all in the next one. Bye everyone.